Tell us a little bit about what you're doing these days.
Well, what I'm doing right now, I'm a singer-songwriter and recording artist, and right now I'm actually scheduling a high school tour to go to all the different high schools in Delaware. I want to hit 20 high schools between now and December 2015 in an effort to educate our youth on entrepreneurship, the music industry, and just pursuing your passions. And with that, I do a series of concerts associated along with these presentations, and I'd like to raise $100,000 to donate back to Delaware Public School Systems.
No kidding.
Yep. So we had our first concert actually in December. December 13th, I did the first concert at Dover High School.
How did that turn out?
It was great. It was phenomenal. And hopefully we can just continue to build. I'm looking at Polytech, Lake Forest, and Cape Henlopen to be the next schools. So.
I did get a chance to see that you did petition the school board, the Capital School Board, and I was extremely impressed with your passion, as well as how nicely you presented. You made it clear. Maybe you can tell our listening and viewing audience a little bit more about what you mean by entrepreneurship and music.
Well, I think music and the arts in general are the first things to get cut out of our education systems, and they're really essential in developing yourself as an individual. And also there's a lot of money to be made in it as well. A lot of times you get deterred from pursuing an art because people don't think that there's a way to make money doing so. But just because they don't know how to do so doesn't mean that it's not possible.
That's right.
And you shouldn't deter someone from doing something that you don't know how to do. So my goal is to educate, our youth on the various ways that there are to make money in music, because most people think that it's very black and white. It's either you're a starving artist or you're going to be a millionaire. But there is a lot in between that you can be. And most people, they want you to get a job where you're going to make $50,000 a year or so, and they're like, oh yeah, you're making a good living for yourself. And that's easily attainable in the music field, in any kind of arts field if you know how to position yourself. It's just that you need to set a goal and then find a way to actualize those goals. So.
Wow. It certainly sounds like you have already run into what naysayers will say. I mean, well-intended naysayers.
Yes. Everybody, and that's one thing that's important, too, is that most people aren't telling you not to pursue music because they don't believe in you. They're telling you not to pursue something like that because they genuinely want you to be able to provide for yourself. And since they don't know how you're going to be able to do that, they're like, well, why don't you try this? Because it's inside of the box. And
that's right.
We need to push people to think outside of the box and become content creators. I can do much more for my community starting a business and being able to employ myself and the others around me than I would ever be able to do for my community just working underneath someone else and not being able to assist the people around me to generate an income for themselves. So I would like to motivate our youth to really think about what they can create and how they can be of a greater benefit, not just thinking about benefiting themselves, but to benefit the people around them.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's just go ahead and visualize this thing out. 10 years from now, when it works exactly the way you want it to work,
yes.
What does it look like?
Well, it should look like a lot of youth creating. We should be in a position where it's more community oriented, I believe, less corporate. I think corporations are the way that they are just because you have a lot of people interested in bettering themselves as an individual. So they're not thinking about getting outside of the box. They want to be in the box. And you're kind of programmed that way, which is why I go to the schools. Because you're kind of programmed to think in the box and then work for the box. And because you do that, you don't create anything else. So you work for one company who's going to provide everything for you. But if you had a generation of individuals who all created, then you would break down that top-down system. And you would have a lot of mini societies. Where everyone could kind of build itself a plane, and there wouldn't be such a great gap and disparity between the people on the top and the people on the bottom. We could get more people towards the middle. And oftentimes you're taught that, okay, well, you can do this by working for that person and you work your way up. We're capitalists. We teach people to work up like that, but what we should do is teach entrepreneurship so that way it will flatline itself and everybody can be able to provide.
That's right. That's a good point. Well, look, we certainly appreciate all your information, but you mentioned the word generation, so I'm going to help you bridge the generation gap. Let the people out here know how they can find you either on Twitter or on Instagram or on Facebook.
Everything is Kevin McCove, so it's KevinMccove.
You easy to find. No underscore?
No underscore, just me. I'm the only one, so it makes it pretty easy.
You're one of a kind. One of a kind and shock your mind.
What do you think of this game that we've seen so far, just wrapping up halftime, Sunrise Christian Academy and Christ the King High School?
These teams are really, really good. Playing really disciplined basketball. A lot of good shot selection. Seen a lot of good defense, which is tough to see in basketball sometimes. But they're caliber teams, high caliber teams.
I certainly appreciate that, Kevin. I'm very proud to know you. I'm very proud of you as a senator and as a Blue Hen and as an up-and-coming member of our community. We're going to go ahead and look here. And the cousin of the CEO. He is a McCove, in case y'all didn't realize that. Boy, I wish we could get a tight shot right now on the CEO, but he always stays behind the camera.